The morning sun slipped through the thin curtains of a small city apartment, casting a soft glow across the room. The human boy named Adam stirred slowly, his eyes half closed, his body still heavy with sleep. As he turned to the side, he felt something strange pressing against his chest. His mind was foggy, still lost in dreams, but when his vision cleared, he froze. There, right above him, was his alien roommate, her large, luminous eyes staring down at him, her face inches away from his, her strange silver hair falling over his pillow, her hands pressed flat on his chest as if she had been holding him down. For a long moment, neither of them moved. Adam's breath caught in his throat, confusion racing through his mind. Why was she on top of him? Why was she looking at him with such fear in her eyes? The alien girl's name was Lyra. She had been living with Adam for several months now. She looked human in many ways, slim, graceful, and young, but there were small details that gave away her otherworldly nature. Her eyes shimmered faintly with golden light. Her skin seemed to glow in the dark, and when she spoke, her voice carried an echo that no human voice could make. "You were not supposed to wake yet," she whispered, her voice trembling. Adam blinked, his heartbeat quickening. "What do you mean?" he asked softly. Though his words came out shaky, Lyra quickly sat back, her hands pulling away from his chest. But it was too late. He noticed something on his skin, faint glowing patterns spreading across his collarbone like living fire. They pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat. Adam pushed himself upright, staring at the strange light crawling over his skin. "What is this?" he whispered, his voice breaking. Lyra turned her head away, shame written across her alien features. "I tried to stop it," she said, her voice low, "but the bond has already begun." Adam's mind spun in circles. Bond? What bond? What was happening to him? He tried to stand, his legs shaky, but a wave of weakness washed over him. He fell back onto the bed, the glowing marks flaring brighter for a moment before calming again. Lyra reached out as if to steady him, but she stopped herself, her hand hovering in the air. "Lyra," Adam said, his tone sharp now, "tell me the truth. What is going on?" She bit her lip, her eyes filled with a strange mix of fear and guilt. "You were never supposed to know," she said slowly. "Not like this. Not yet." Adam clenched his fists, anger rising. "You're my roommate. I let you stay here. I trusted you. And now I wake up with you on top of me and strange lights on my skin. Explain it now." The room fell silent. The hum of the city outside seemed far away. Lyra's shoulders trembled as she finally spoke. "I was protecting you," she whispered. "There was energy around you, dangerous energy. If I had not acted, it might have killed you." Adam's eyes widened. "Killed me? What kind of energy are you talking about?" She looked at him at last, her golden eyes locking with his. "The kind only my people know, the kind that should not exist on Earth, and now it has marked you." Adam's head spun, his chest rising and falling fast. "So you're saying I'm marked by some alien energy and you knew this would happen?" Lyra shook her head quickly. "No, I never wanted this. I thought I could stop it. I thought I could keep you safe." Her voice cracked. "But when you touched me last night, it triggered the bond, and now we are connected." Adam felt his stomach twist. The words made no sense, but the fear in her voice told him it was real. He lifted his hand, staring at the glowing veins running beneath his skin. "Connected," he whispered. Before Lyra could answer, a sudden noise cut through the air. 3 heavy knocks on the apartment door. Loud and forceful, Adam jumped, his heart slamming in his chest. Lyra's eyes went wide with terror. She pressed a finger to her lips, silently telling him not to make a sound. Her body tense, The pounding on the door grew louder, each strike shaking the walls of the small apartment. Adam's chest tightened with fear, his glowing marks pulsing in rhythm with the sound. Lyra pulled him toward the fire escape, her grip strong but trembling. "Move," she whispered, her golden eyes darting toward the door. "They cannot find us here." Adam stumbled out of the window and onto the narrow metal steps, the cold air biting his skin. Below them, the alley stretched like a dark maze. Lyra jumped down first with inhuman grace, landing silently. Adam followed clumsily, his legs weak, nearly slipping, She caught him before he hit the ground. The pounding above stopped suddenly, replaced by the sharp sound of the apartment door breaking open. Alien voices shouted, harsh and metallic. Adam's blood ran cold. He pressed close to Lyra, trying to steady his breathing. "Who are they?" he whispered. Her eyes never left the shadows of the alley. "They are hunters, soldiers from my world. They came for me. But now they will also come for you." Adam's heart pounded harder. "For me? Why?" Lyra hesitated, her voice tight. "Because of the bond, the mark on your skin. It connects you to me, and that makes you dangerous to them." They ran through the alley, their footsteps echoing against the stone walls. The city lights flickered overhead. Strange shapes moved on the rooftops, shadows too fast and too silent to be human. Suddenly a beam of red light cut across the alley, scorching the ground where Adam had stood only a moment earlier. He gasped, stumbling back. Lyra shoved him behind a dumpster, her body pressed against his, shielding him from sight. A figure dropped from above, tall, armored in black plates that shimmered with strange runes. Its helmet glowed with a burning red visor. It scanned the alley with slow precision, its weapon humming softly. Adam held his breath, right muscle in his body frozen. Lyra's hand tightened on his wrist, her golden eyes locked on the hunter. The armored figure paused, the visor flickering as if detecting something. Then it tilted its head, almost curious. Adam felt the glowing marks on his skin pulse again, brighter this time, the light leaking through his shirt. The hunter's head snapped toward them, the red visor locking on their hiding spot. "Run!" Lyra hissed, pulling Adam with sudden strength. They dashed through the alley as beams of energy blasted around them. Concrete cracked, metal twisted, fire sparked. Adam's lungs burned, but he kept moving, his fear driving him forward. They turned a corner and burst into a wide street, neon lights reflecting off wet pavement. Humans walked by, unaware of the chaos in the alley. Lyra pulled Adam into the crowd, forcing him to lower his head. Adam whispered between gasps, "Why me, Lyra? Why did you stay in my apartment? Why did you choose me?" Her jaw tightened, her voice low and shaking. "I was sent here to watch, to observe humans. You were never supposed to know, never supposed to see this side of me. But then something changed. When I stayed with you, I began to see something different, something my people do not understand." Adam stared at her, confusion and fear mixing. "What do you mean?" She stopped walking, her eyes burning with emotion. "Humans are not weak. You are dangerous in ways the Council never predicted. You adapt, you survive, and now with the bond, you may become something even stronger." Before Adam could respond, a shadow fell over them. Another armored hunter stepped out from the darkness, blocking the path. Behind them, the first hunter reappeared, cutting off their escape. Adam's breath caught, panic flooding his chest. "We're trapped," he whispered. Lyra's eyes narrowed, her body tense. "Stay behind me," she said, her voice steady now, no longer trembling. She stepped forward, her hands glowing with golden energy. The hunters raised their weapons, their voices harsh as they spoke in their alien tongue. Lyra replied with words Adam could not understand, but the sound of her voice was sharp, defiant. The hunters advanced slowly, weapons glowing brighter. Adam felt his skin burn as the bond mark flared with light, energy coursing through his veins like fire. He gasped, clutching his chest. Lyra turned, her eyes wide as she saw the mark blazing across his skin. "No," she whispered. "It is too soon." But the hunters froze, their red visors flickering as they stared at him. One of them stepped back, their weapon lowering for just a moment. Adam raised his hand, golden light pouring from his veins. The street filled with a glow so bright even the neon lights seemed to fade. The hunters recoiled, their voices sharp with alarm. Lyra grabbed his arm, her expression torn between awe and fear. "Adam," she said, her voice trembling, "you are not supposed to have this power. Not yet." And in that moment, as the city lights dimmed around them and the hunters hesitated, Adam realized his life had changed forever. The golden light from Adam's skin lit up the entire street. People screamed and scattered, thinking it was some strange explosion. Neon signs flickered and died as the energy crackled through the air. The hunters stepped back, their weapons trembling in their hands. Lyra pulled Adam into the shadows, her voice sharp. "You cannot stay here. They will call for more. We must move." Adam's chest burned, the glowing marks pulsing like fire. He stumbled but forced himself to run, his mind filled with confusion and fear. He had no idea how to control the light inside him. They darted into another alley, their footsteps splashing through puddles. Behind them, the hunters shouted, their voices echoing. Beams of red energy tore through the night, smashing walls and sending sparks into tea. Here, Adam gasped. Why me? Why now? What is happening to me? Lyra's face was grim, her golden eyes glowing. The bond is alive. It is feeding on your will. The stronger you resist, the stronger it becomes. Adam shook his head, his breath ragged. I never asked for this. Neither did I, she whispered, her voice cracking. But fate has chosen, and now we must survive. A sharp blast of energy slammed into the wall beside them, bricks exploding. Adam fell to the ground. Lyra pulled him up just as another beam sliced through the air. Suddenly a hunter dropped from the roof in front of them, blocking their path, its armor gleaming red under the glow of Adam's mark. It raised its weapon slowly, the hum of energy growing louder. Adam froze, his chest blazing, fear flooding his body. Lyra stepped in front of him, her hands glowing bright gold. You will not take him, she said firmly. The hunter tilted its head, then spoke in a metallic growl. The human is ours. The bond must be broken. Before it could strike, Adam's mark flared with blinding light. An invisible force pushed the hunter back, its armored body crashing into a dumpster with a roar of metal. Adam collapsed to his knees, panting, his hands shaking. Lyra grabbed his face, forcing him to look at her. Listen to me. You must not lose control. The bond is unstable. If it breaks, it will kill you. Adam's voice shook. Then what do I do? Before she could answer, more shadows appeared on the rooftops. 5, maybe 6 hunters closing in, red visors glowing like burning eyes. Lyra's breath quickened, her hand tightening around Adam's wrist. We cannot fight them all, but there is one place we can hide. They ran again, weaving through narrow alleys and broken fences. Adam's lungs burned, the glowing mark pulsing brighter with every step. Hunters leapt across rooftops, their heavy armor making the grouse. And shake each time they landed, the sound of their weapons charging filled the night. Finally, they burst into an abandoned warehouse at the edge of the city, the doors hanging loose, the air thick with dust. Lyra dragged Adam inside, pulling him behind old crates. Adam leaned against the wall, gasping for breath, sweat running down his face. This is insane. I'm just a normal guy. I was supposed to go to work today, not run from aliens. Lyra crouched beside him, her golden eyes fierce. You are no longer normal, Adam. The bond has chosen you, and that makes you part of this war whether you like it or not. The warehouse doors slammed open. The hunters entered, their red visors glowing in the dark. The sound of their weapons humming. Adam whispered, fear choking his voice. They found us. Lyra stood tall, her body glowing with golden light. Then we fight, she said. But before the first shot was fired, something unexpected happened. The air in the warehouse grew heavy. A strange vibration filled the space. Adam's mark pulsed wildly, responding to something unseen. The hunters froze, their visors flickering. Adam looked down at his chest, the glowing patterns spreading further, reaching his arms, his hands trembling with raw energy. He whispered, What's happening to me? Lyra's eyes widened with shock and fear. No, it cannot be. The bond is evolving. The hunters stepped back, their weapons lowering for just a moment, as if they too felt the growing power inside him. The warehouse trembled, the air crackled, and Adam realized the truth. He was no longer running. He was becoming something else. The warehouse shook as if alive. Sparks of golden light flowed from Adam's skin, painting the walls in strange symbols that glowed and faded like breathing fire. The hunters stepped back, their weapons trembling in their hands. Even their helmets seemed to flicker as if unsure. Lyra stood close to Adam, her hand hovering near his arm, but not touching. Fear and awe filled her eyes. It has begun, she whispered, her voice shaking. Adam looked at her, his chest rising and falling fast. What has begun? Tell me. I cannot keep running blind. The hunters steadied themselves and raised their weapons again, but before they could fire, Adam's glowing marks pulsed and the air around them twisted. An invisible wave knocked the hunters back, slamming them into the warehouse walls. Their armor cracked under the unseen force. Adam fell to his knees, panting, his voice weak. I do not know how I did that. Lyra knelt beside him, her hand brushing his shoulder. You did not do it alone. The bond is feeding you my power, but it is more than that. It is changing you. Adam stared at her, anger and fear mixing. Changing me into what? She lowered her gaze, her golden eyes shimmering with sadness. Into something my people feared for centuries. Into something they swore must never exist again. Before Adam could question further, the hunters began to rise. Their armor cracked but their eyes burning red. Lyra stood, her hands glowing with golden fire. She pushed Adam behind her. Listen to me, she said, her voice steady now. My people, the council, they never wanted humans to know the truth. They believed your kind were weak, but some of us saw the truth. Humans adapt faster than any species. You carry something inside, something the bond awakens, something dangerous. Adam's hands shook, the glowing patterns now reaching his fingertips. He whispered, So I am just some experiment to them. A mistake. Lyra's voice cracked. Not a mistake, a threat. The hunters lunged forward, their weapons firing beams of energy. Lyra deflected them with a shield of golden light, sparks exploding around her. Adam's chest burned, and without thinking he raised his hand. A beam of golden fire shot out, striking one of the hunters and ending it crashing through the floor. Silence followed for a brief second. Adam's arm trembled, smoke rising from his hand. I did that, he whispered, disbelief filling his voice. Lyra turned to him, her face pale. Yes, and now they will never stop coming. The remaining hunters retreated, their voices sharp and urgent. One of them pointed at Adam before disappearing into the shadows, a warning sent to others. Adam slumped against the wall, his breath uneven. Why me, Lyra? Why was I the one? Her eyes softened, her voice low. Because I chose you. When I first came here, I was ordered to watch, to study, but I saw something different in you, something strong, something kind. I thought I could hide you from them, but the bond chose differently. Now we cannot turn back. Adam's eyes filled with conflict, anger, fear, and something new, determination. So what now? Do we keep running until they catch us? Lyra shook her head, her golden hair shimmering in the glow. No, now we fight. But first you must understand the council will not just send hunters, they will send their fleet. And when they come, Earth will no longer be safe. The word struck Adam like a blade, the weight of it heavy on his chest. Earth. They will attack Earth. Because of me. Lyra's hand touched his shoulder gently. Not only because of you, because of what you represent. A human who bonded with alien power and survived. To them that is proof of their greatest fear. To them humanity is no longer weak, humanity is dangerous. The warehouse doors shook again, more voices echoed outside, heavy footsteps closing in. Lyra's eyes sharpened. We must leave before reinforcements arrive. Adam nodded, his fear still burning but his resolve stronger. He pushed himself up, the golden marks blazing brighter. He whispered, Then let's show them what humans can really do. As they slipped through the broken back door of the warehouse, the city stretched before them, the night alive with shadows and whispers. Above the clouds, distant shapes began to appear. Massive ships descend, ding slowly toward Earth, and Adam realized this was no longer just his fight. It was the beginning of something much greater. The night sky above the city burned with strange red lights as more alien ships descended, their engines humming like thunder. Shadows spread across the streets as hunters poured in from every direction, their armored bodies glowing with runes of war. Adam and Lyra ran across the rooftops, the bond mark on his chest blazing brighter with every step. He could feel the power inside him boiling, pushing against his skin as if it wanted to break free. Suddenly a beam of red energy shot past them, slicing a metal chimney in half. Adam stumbled, nearly falling. Lyra caught his arm and pulled him forward. Keep moving, she shouted, her golden eyes scanning the sky. They are everywhere. They leapt onto another rooftop, but 3 hunters were waiting, their weapons raised, their visors burning. Lyra stepped forward, her hands glowing gold. She clashed with the first hunter, golden fire meeting red energy, sparks raining down. Adam froze for a moment, fear locking his legs, then his chest seared with heat. The bond mark pulsed, and a golden wave exploded from his body. It threw 2 hunters back, their armor cracking as they crashed against the roof edge. Adam gasped, falling to his knees. I cannot control it, he whispered, his hands trembling. Lyra blocked another strike, her voice sharp. Stop thinking. Let the bond guide you. Adam lifted his arm, energy gathering in his palm. A beam of light shot out, striking the last hunter and hurling it into the night sky. The sound of breaking metal echoed across the city. For a moment silence fell. Adam stared at his glowing hand, his breath ragged. "I did not even try," he whispered. Lyra's face was pale, her golden eyes wide. "You are awakening faster than I feared." Before Adam could answer, a loud roar shook the air. A massive figure descended from one of the ships, larger than any hunter they had seen, its armor black and covered in glowing crimson lines, its weapon as tall as a human. The night sky was no longer dark. The massive fleet above Earth glowed with thousands of lights, their shadows covering the city like a storm. People on the streets screamed and ran, unaware that the invasion was not for them, but for one human. Adam. Adam stood on the rooftop, his body glowing with golden marks, every breath heavy, every heartbeat louder than thunder. Beside him Lyra stood, her golden eyes filled with both pride and sorrow. "They are here for you," she whispered, her voice breaking. "The council will not stop until they take you, because now you are proof that humanity cannot be controlled." Adam clenched his fists, the energy inside him pulsing like fire. "Then let them take their best shot," he said, his voice low, but Lyra shook her head, her hands trembling. "You do not understand," she said, stepping closer. "The bond is growing too fast. If you keep using it, it will consume you. You will no longer be human. You will become something else, something even I cannot predict." Adam's chest burned. He looked at his glowing arms, the golden lines reaching his fingertips. His reflection in a broken piece of glass showed eyes that no longer looked human, faint golden light shining in them. His stomach twisted. "So I either lose myself or let them win," he said bitterly. Lyra's voice cracked. "There may still be a way. I could break the bond. But if I do, you may not survive. Your body has already taken in too much energy. Without it, you might die." Adam turned to her, his heart pounding. "So those are my choices, lose my humanity or lose my life." The fleet above rumbled, a massive ship breaking through the clouds. Beams of red light spread across the city, searching and then focusing on the rooftop where Adam and Lyra stood. The hunters on the ground cheered in their alien tongue, their voices sharp like blades. Lyra grabbed his arm, her gold, in eyes wet with tears. "Adam, listen to me. I never meant for this to happen. I only wanted to protect you, but now the choice is yours. Fight and risk losing yourself, or let me break the bond and risk death." Adam looked at her, the girl who had once been only a strange roommate, now the only thing standing between him and the galaxy. He felt anger, fear, and something deeper, hope. His voice was steady now. "If my death means protecting Earth, I will accept it. But if my change means giving humans a chance, then I will embrace it." Lyra's lips trembled. "Adam, no. You cannot carry this alone." But Adam shook his head, his glowing eyes fixed on the sky. "I am not carrying it alone. I am carrying it with every human who ever fought when they were told they were weak, with every human who refused to bow. If they want to see what humanity really is, then I will show them." Suddenly the massive ship above opened its belly, a beam of crimson energy descending slowly, like a giant blade. Lyra's hands shook as she pulled Adam close. "If you choose to fight, there will be no going back." Adam took her hand, the golden light from his skin flowing into hers, their bond flaring brighter than ever. "Then we fight together," he said. The crimson beam struck the rooftop, blinding light exploding around them. Adam's body erupted with golden fire, his scream shaking the air. Lyra's voice joined his, their powers merging into something neither human nor alien. The hunters below fell back in fear, their voices trembling as they realized the truth. The bond had not weakened, it had evolved. Above the city the fleet paused, the council themselves whispering in confusion, unsure whether they had created a weapon or awakened a new enemy. Adam fell to his knees, Lyra catching him, his voice weak but steady. "This is not the end. This is only the beginning." The sky rumbled, the war for Earth about to begin, and Adam knew his choice was already made. The sky over the city turned red as the council's fleet lowered through the clouds, their colossal ships blotting out the stars, each one shaped like a dark mountain floating in the heavens. The ground trembled as the sound of their engines shook the earth. People below stared in terror, their screams mixing with sirens. The hunters on the rooftops and streets stood silent now, waiting for orders. Their glowing visors all aimed at Adam. Adam stood in the center of the rooftop, his body glowing with golden fire, the bond marks covering him from head to toe, his eyes shining like suns. Beside him, Lyra stood tall, her hands trembling but her voice steady. A deep vibration filled the air. And then a colossal beam of light descended from the flagship above, forming a shimmering portal on the rooftop. Through it stepped the alien council, tall robed figures with faces hidden in shadow. Their presence alone made the air heavy. Every hunter dropped to one knee. One of the council's voices echoed, deep and cold. The human has broken the law of the stars. He carries power not meant for his kind. Surrender him, and we will spare this planet. Adam's chest burned, but his voice was steady. This is my world, and I will not surrender. If you want me, you will have to fight all of humanity. The council laughed, a low, cruel sound. Humans are fragile, divided, unworthy. They cannot stand against the empire of the stars. Adam raised his glowing hand, the rooftop shaking with his power. Then you do not understand us. Humans fight hardest when they are pushed to the edge. We survive storms, wars, and hunger. We endure when stronger species fall, and now you will see why we cannot be broken. Lyra stepped forward, her golden eyes blazing. And you will see why I chose him. Humanity is not weak. It is the fire your council feared for centuries. The council raised their hands. Crimson energy gathering, the air burning with power. Hunters around the city raised their weapons, red light filling the streets. Adam clenched his fists, his golden fire rising higher, his body shaking under the weight of it. He whispered to Lyra, "If this destroys me, do not let them take Earth." Lyra gripped his hand tightly, her voice fierce. "We fight together, till the end." The council unleashed their power, a storm of crimson fire descending from the skies, but Adam and Lyra raised their hands together, their bond erupting in a blinding wave of gold. The two lights clashed, shaking the heavens, the city below trembling as buildings cracked and glass shattered. The hunters screamed, their weapons failing, some collapsing as the golden light spread across the streets. The crimson fire of the council faltered, their shadows breaking, their voices filled with shock. "Impossible," one of them cried. "No human should hold this much power." Adam's voice boomed across the battlefield. "I am not just one human. I am every human, and we will not kneel to you." The golden wave surged, pushing the crimson fire back. The council stumbled, their forms flickering, their fleet above shuddering as golden cracks of light spread across the sky. Lyra's voice echoed beside him. "This is the dawn of a new age." With one final scream, Adam released all the energy within, the bond blazing brighter than the sun. The crimson fire shattered, the council's figures dissolving into shadows, their fleet retreating, ships tearing through the sky as they fled from the golden storm. Silence fell, the night sky clearing, the stars shining once more. The hunters collapsed lifeless, their control broken. The city lay in ruins but still standing. And in the center of it all, Adam fell to his knees, his golden light fading. Lyra caught him in her arms, tears in her glowing eyes. "Adam, stay with me. You won. You saved them." His voice was faint, but steady. "We saved them," he whispered. Then his eyes closed, the golden light dimming, the bond fading into silence. Lyra held him,